If you recall, as the video opens, we hear a commentary. At this time, we will examine what is stated to find out additional meaning to the visual representations we have viewed thus far.
In the beginning, the land was pure. Even in the early morning light, you could see the beauty in the forms of nature. Soon men and women of every color and shape would be here too. And they would find it all too easy sometimes not to see the colors and to ignore the beauty in each other. But they would never lose sight of the dream of a better world that they could unite and build together in triumph.
In the beginning, the land was pure. This statement insinuates that the land became impure once humans arrived, even in the early morning light. This statement is very peculiar because this video takes place at either dawn or sunset. You will not see the sun rise or any daylight during this video. It is also interesting to note this because Lucifer also has several meanings, including light bearer, day star or morning star that precedes the rising of the sun. He's also known as the light of the morning. You can see the beauty in the forms of nature. This includes earth, air, water, and fire, as well as the sun, moon, and stars. Soon, men and women of every color and shape would be here too. This is telling us that we are at the beginning of the dawn of mankind. And they would find it all too easy sometimes not to see the colors. The colors that are being referred to are not that of race or nationality. And to ignore the beauty in each other. This is another reference to the colors which we will examine briefly. But they would never lose sight of the dream of a better world that they could unite and build together in triumph. The question would be, who dreamed of this world that they could unite, build with whom, and how would this be accomplished? This statement is referring to the builders who wish to accomplish their great work or magnum opus. One major faction of this network of groups is none other than the Freemasons. Let us now go back to the statement where these colors are being referred to. Understanding what colors are being referred to is crucial in the understanding of this entire video analysis. Again, we see the rainbow symbolism throughout these photographs. But what groups also associate themselves with the rainbow besides the Masons? Rosicrucians, the New Age movement, Theosophists, and those who practice the Kabbalah, as well as a few others. I will state here that although the LGBT gay social movement also uses the symbol, it is not particularly relevant to the context and scope of this analysis and therefore will not be examined. For those who still question whether or not Freemasons are Christian, just because some claim they are, and do not do anything which may be associated with any of these other non-Christian groups mentioned, I will submit to you other Masonic literature which speaks upon and substantiates this fact. An article entitled "The Great Work in Speculative Freemasonry," which was presented to the Dormo Masonic Study Circle number 47, begins by stating, "Throughout the ages, the spiritual doctrine, which is concealed within the architectural phraseology of our modern craft system, has undergone the influence of many different traditions of the ancient wisdom. The student, therefore, who seeks to analyze Freemasonry as it stands today, often finds himself lost in a bewildering maze of various tributaries of knowledge, and is apt to pore indefinitely over a mass of fragmentary facts without perceiving their interrelation or being able to coordinate them into one comprehensive scheme. In this paper, the attempt will be made to present, for the guidance of Masonic students, an interpretation of the Egyptian metaphysical tradition in harmony with the teachings set forth in what are called the mysteries. The Egyptian tradition will then be briefly discussed in the light of its transmission and ultimate incorporation in speculative Freemasonry. Finally, reasons will be given in support of the theory, which we hold to be valid, that the great work or magnum opus of the Rosicrucians and spiritual alchemists is the same as that which is symbolized in our Masonic legend of H.A. or Hiram Abiff." Those were the words of a York Rite, Freemason. We also need to find out what the Scottish Rite thinks about the same topic. It's good that we can find this information in books. However, it's always better to hear something come directly out of someone's mouth.
And illustrious Henry C. Clausen, 33rd degree, Sovereign Grand Commander, the Supreme Council 33rd degree, ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Brother Clausen.
Sometimes it's asked, what is the mission of the Scottish Rite? Well, the mission of the Scottish Rite is bifurcated. That is twofold. One part includes the goal of the symbolic lodge, the Mother Grand Lodge of the world, the Grand Lodge of England, the first 3 degrees of Freemasonry, that adopted Anderson's constitutions in 1723 and thus became non-sectarian. This departed from a spiritual to a societal base. It is usually defined as a regular system of morality, veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. The Scottish Rite of the Mother jurisdiction, on the other hand, retained, reinforced, and expanded both goals, societal and spiritual. Hence, we pursue in daily living the virtues of morality, charity, and patriotism. But we also search for an ultimate mystic union with the deity, and for that purpose, we reveal and apply in our degrees from the 4th to the 33rd the ancient wisdom, esoteric knowledge that comes to us over long, drifting centuries. Our Scottish Rite, therefore, delves deeply into philosophy and metaphysics, but we square this with the miracles of modern science.
That is only one of many works that can be found which do substantiate the fact that Masonic thought is in line with both the Egyptian mystery schools, alchemy, Rosicrucian thought, and other New Age doctrines which are now prevalent in our world today. In moving forward, defining the spiritual significance behind the symbol of the rainbow will be helpful for us to figure out why it's being so heavily used in this particular video. In Rosicrucianism, New Age philosophy, Theosophy, and Kabbalah, the rainbow is seen as a means by which the individual travels from his current earthly realm to reaching consciousness, which is in the spiritual realm. You travel the rainbow bridge called the Antakarana to ascend into spiritual consciousness. In essence, then the individual becomes God. This state of being has several names, including the term reaching Christ consciousness. In the introductory portion of Constance Kumbi's book, The Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow, she states, quote, "The New Age movement uses rainbows to signify their building of the rainbow bridge between man and Lucifer, who, they say, is the oversoul," unquote. In relation to the Can You Feel It video, our question would be, why open the scene with someone speaking about these spiritual concepts? Because they believe that within the construction of the great work, it is necessary to unite all under the same spiritual ideas. This is considered the one world religion. Here, it should also be mentioned that even the location shown in this video substantiates what this commentator is speaking of in his opening statements. In the video, what is being shown to us is the Rainbow Bridge National Monument in Utah. The Rainbow Bridge National Monument is in southern Utah and is considered as the world's largest natural bridge. The implication of it being used here in this video implies that crossing a rainbow bridge is also a natural process. As we continue, we will begin to completely explore the symbol of the rainbow as it specifically relates to Michael Jackson, not only within the context of the video Can You Feel It, but we will soon discover that this very image has been following Michael throughout a large majority of his entire career. See you there.